Hello, it's Karl Brauer, executive analyst at iSeeCars.com, and I'm here to talk to you about our recent car color study. This study looked at the trends of car colors over the past 20 years, and I feel like car colors are an interesting topic because no matter how much you are or are not into cars, you can relate to them. Everyone has an opinion about car colors. Everyone has a sense or an emotion of what they think of different car colors. And what we've seen over the past 20 years is this slow but steady climb in grayscale colors. And in case you don't know, grayscale colors are either black, white, silver, or gray. They're basically variations on black and white. These colors have been among the most dominant colors really for most of the history of the automobile, but the last 20 years we've definitely seen a trend where they just keep gaining market share. In 2004, they had about 60% of the market share. They were one of these four grayscale colors in the marketplace. In 2023, they were 80%. That means there used to be 40% non-grayscale color cars, now there's only 20%. So we're continuing to see these colors really gain market share. And I have a theory on this, but I'm going to save that till the end of this video. If you look at this chart, you can see where colors gained and lost. And of course, white was up even more than usual, 77%. The biggest growth, though, came for gray. Gray gained 82% in share over the past 20 years, while silver, interestingly, lost 52%. In fact, silver is just barely ahead of what I consider a traditional color, blue. The most popular non-grayscale color right now is blue, and silver's barely ahead of it because it's lost so much in the last 20 years. And we looked at about 20 million cars to get these numbers. We've looked at 20 million vehicles over the past 20 years to come up with these numbers. So this is a very good sample size of the car market to give us these color trends. Now, if we go back to the chart, you can see that beyond blue, you have red, and then below that you have green, which is actually trying to make a move up the last few years. You can see it's growing slowly, and maybe you've seen a little more green out there on the roads when you drive around. All the other colors like orange, beige, brown, yellow, gold, and purple, they're all tightly packed at the bottom, and they pretty much all lost share. That's how these grayscale colors gained over the past 20 years, was by taking share from pretty much all the other colors. If you go to the full study at iSeeCars.com, you can see not only all these charts that show what's happening across the marketplace, but also a ranking of car colors by segment. Things like trucks, SUVs, and cars. We looked there to see if maybe something more interesting was going on when you got away from the overall market and looked at different segments. But the truth is, they just reflect what the global market is. The grayscale colors are on top, and more traditional colors are down below. We did notice that sports cars, not very surprisingly, have a more colorful palette, and the traditional reds and yellows and greens and blues, they're a higher percentage in the sports car segment. Pretty much every other segment, though, they're all very down at the bottom, just like they are in the main market. Now, I have a theory about why we're seeing such a strong performance for grayscale colors over the past 20 years. And again, when you drive around and you see this, I sometimes play a game with people. I'll be in a car with them and I'll say like, okay, stop what you're doing and find me a non-black, white, silver, or gray car, just to see how long it takes them, and you're scanning the horizon, and usually it's, there's one. And I just think it's kind of sad. Okay, this is something I've got kind of a personal stake in that I just feel like I wish there was more contrast and color out there on the roads. And I don't think these colors are actually as popular as they seem to be. And I'm going to explain why. What I think's going on is that you have a lot of dealers ordering cars, and they assume that they can always sell a black, white, silver, or gray car. So they order them out of safety, out of just a sense of security that there's no chance they won't not sell the car because it's the quote unquote wrong color. Whereas if they get a yellow or a green, it's like, uh-oh, I'll be stuck with this thing because no one will want that color. And I think that consumers are doing this too. I think consumers look around, they see all these black, white, silver, and gray cars, and they think, well, those aren't really my favorite colors, but it seems like everyone else likes them, and I want to be able to sell my car when it's time to sell, so I'll get one of those safe colors too, even though I don't really like them that much. And if you think about it, if everyone is doing that, then all of these gray, black, white, and silver cars that are all over the place aren't really reflecting what people want. They're reflecting what people think everyone else wants. And it's this self-fulfilling prophecy. So I also can tell you that when we've looked at values for cars, very commonly obscure colors like something, say, yellow, actually holds its value better. Why? It's not because a lot of people want the color yellow. It's that whatever number of people want yellow, there are fewer than those cars out there. So few people get yellow cars that even a small number of people who want yellow will pay more when they finally find it. So if you're buying a mainstream grayscale colored car as a safety valve to make sure you can sell it when it's time to sell, consider the fact that more obscure colors may require a more specific buyer, but that buyer will pay more for the color because he's having trouble finding it or she's having trouble finding it when they do find it in your garage or in your ad online. So please keep that in mind when you're ordering your personal car, and please order your personal cars. Don't just go to the dealer and buy what they've got on the lot. Take the time, you're buying a new car, get exactly what you want, including your color. And if you really like black, white, silver, gray, you should buy black, white, silver, or gray. If you aren't a fan of those colors and you're doing it out of safety, please, we've got Save the Manuals, save the colors, okay? Save the colors, people.